you go now, fellas. Here we go. We've got the Blood, Sweat and Tears. The Bloed Zweet Sweet. Oh, how do you say that in Dutch? I don't know. My Dutch isn't that good. And Trajan. So, yeah, this is a smoky port. No, a smoky stout. 8.2%. And made by the Molen. And they're in the Netherlands, which I spent quite a few months there. Learn a bit of Limburg's dialect, a little bit of Dutch, not so much. You know, Amsterdam quite a few times, go up there. Used it as a base to travel around Europe, actually. Maastricht, I was living not far from Maastricht, a place called Stout, Limburg. And speaking the Limburger accent, it was grass. Cheers, everyone. Blood, Sweat and Tears. I've had plenty of that lately on this property, I tell you. Ooh, lekker eten. Well, it's not really food, but lekker. It's a very nice smoky stout-ish, they say. This company, some of their beers are about $20 a bottle. I didn't go for that, but I did go for, I don't know, this one was probably 13 or something. One of the cheaper ones of theirs. I've had quite a few of theirs. I drank a few in Chiang Mai when I was in Chiang Mai. They've got them over there in the #1 bar. I go there quite a bit because they've got a huge beer selection, probably the biggest in Chiang Mai. And this is another ripper. I think I've enjoyed nearly all of their beers. They're not cheap, but they're worth that little bit extra for something a bit different. That's rich, smoky, of course. And you've got licorice, bit of cocoa, I guess, a little tiny amount. But the smoke is quite strong. It's not as, well, it's not over the top, smash your head out, but it is quite a smoky beer. So what I'm having with that is I'm having these new chips I bought. No, I didn't buy them. They were in the cupboard. Thick cut chips with steak, I think it was. Barbecued steak flavour. Very different. Very nice. And what I'm having with it, truffle cheese from Adelaide Hills. Oh, it's lovely. See the big hunks of truffles in there? That's just perfect for a smoky porter. You gotta get into something like that. And this is how I'm doing chips now these days. I don't have them on their own. I've got to have them with a bit of cheese, maybe a few olives. Can't just eat chips on their own. You're kidding. I do them like bickies, you know. Cheese, olives. Might get a bit of ham and chuck it on, but the steak flavour is pretty strong on those. I think it's a new flavour by Red Rock. Oh, it could be the other one because we've still got two here that were the mainstays for the exotic chips, I guess, better chips. Oh, that's so good. And you get that little hint of truffle. Oh, you gotta love that. Lovely. Wash it down with a smoky beer. Can't beat this. Now, living in southern Holland, or Netherlands, as they call it, the Netherlands, you ate lots of cheese. Heaps of cheese. It was weird because you had a lot of pork. They do a lot of pork dishes. And then they've got a lot of Indonesian restaurants, Chinese, Indonesian, and they're beautiful food, probably better than Indonesia, better than Bali. I had a few good meals in Bali, but I tell you, some of the Indonesian restaurants in Holland made them really average. You have this thing called a rice staffel, and I think it's like 8 courses that goes with rice, and it's really rice table in English. And geez, some of the dishes over there were just mind-blowing. They cooked them to perfection, really good produce, cooked, I don't know, somehow just a bit better than Bali. And then you have your local food, like your frits, you know, your chips with mayonnaise. That's a bloody ripper. I was eating them all the time. And then you have like sauces with it. Your satay sauce, curry sauce, special sauce. That was a good one. They put the special sauce on the frikandellas. I love that too. And then you've got lumpias, which is Indonesian influence, Dutch Indonesian spring rolls. They're flat. They've got marinated chicken in there with lots of bean shoots. They're gorgeous. You put the thick black soy, sweet soy on it with the sambal. I like the beautiful sambal. Oh, I wouldn't mind going back to Holland just to go and get into their really good street food, I'll call it, or it's almost like junk food, snack food. Beautiful snack food in Holland. You know, I didn't get into that. Well, I had herrings quite a lot, the roll mops and herrings. You're having them quite a lot as well, but they're sort of good to keep you sober. If you're on a big night out, you have a few herrings first and you don't get too drunk. Pretty good idea. Puts a big oily coating across your guts, and the alcohol goes in really slowly, so they don't go off your guts. Oh well, that's a beauty. Blood, sweat and tears. Good on you. Speaking of Netherlands, Cambodian. Speaking of Limburgers, yeah, Cambodian. But yeah, I love it. Love the Dutch. Love the food over there. Countryside's quite gorgeous. Maastricht is hills. You get a bit of a shock because it's called the lowlands, but there is a couple of hills over there. And yeah, I really enjoyed Holland. The beers were fantastic, especially where I was, Sittard. They got a local brewery. They might be in Maastricht. They're pretty close to Sittard, I guess. It could be up the other way, but it was called Brand. And their beers, oh mate, their double is fucking to die for. One of the best beers ever. I think Heineken bought them when I was there last time, 4 or 5 years ago. Heineken bought them out because they're that good. Anyway, I'll leave you with that one. Cheers, guys.